And that'll bring up fourth down.
All right, now I'm live.
So fourth down at 10-10. And at some point, you can say, you and I always laugh about that whole next man up. The head coaches say, well, we really adhere to the next man up philosophy. Every team has to. But at some point, the injuries become insurmountable when you have that kind of talent unavailable in a game that you have to win. Right now, a 7-point lead for the Eagles.
That's why I thought them getting off to such a great start, it settles you down a little bit, even when you're undermanned, and gives you some confidence.
Here's Cobb on the return to the 19. TJ Edwards downfield to make the stop. 3:22 left in the half. 3 timeouts for Dallas, and Dak down by 7.
Most people think of Verizon as a reliable phone company.
But to businesses, we're a reliable partner. We keep companies ready for what's next.
We weave security into their business,
virtualize their operations,
and build AI customer experiences. We also keep them ready for the next big opportunity,
like 5G.
Almost all the Fortune 500 partner with us.
When it comes to digital transformation,
Verizon keeps business ready.
Keep savoring the season with McDonald's new Snickerdoodle McFlurry and Bacon Barbecue Burger. Made with fresh beef and Applewood smoked bacon, it's an easy, delicious dinner to keep you going this holiday.
Hey, all set for the holidays?
I still need that special gift for Elena.
A new phone on Verizon's network. Best Buy will activate it for you. You walk out ready to go.
Wish I was Elena.
On Disney Plus.
Get ready.
3, 2, 1. All your favorite characters, all in one place. Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic, and more. Disney Plus, now streaming.
NBA, Christmas greetings, the league's best are completing.
Watch the NBA live on Christmas Day.
Fun in a Christmas wonderland.
Welcome back to our holiday PJ party. It's time to gift wrap.
Did someone say gift wrap? Sitting with my crew all cozy by the fire.
Please don't be so jealous of my holiday attire.
Shop up to 75% off everything with gifts for $1, $2, $3, and $4.
Are we actually not wrapping any gifts?
Only at Old Navy.
Welcome to a journey revealing the NFL 100 all-time team.
He's off to the races!
100 unbelievable players. That's a blessing, and I'm very honored to be with you.
He's got to be on that board. He's got to be.
Well, that looks like a baby-faced Daryl Moose Johnston. Cowboys fullback from 89 to 99. 3-time Super Bowl champion. Great broadcaster, great player, great guy.
Most unselfish teammate I ever played with. He was very underrated, one of the great ones.
Here's Elliott, not getting any kind of traction yet until this. A 10-yard run brought down by Jalen Mills. And Troy, after a week of dominating the Rams up front, so far this offensive line, which features 3 Pro Bowlers, having a tough time opening up any room for Zeke Elliott.
Boy, that's for sure. That was a 10-yard run, and he had negative 1 yard on his previous 4 carries. This is a big drive. They get the ball to start the second half, but if they could come away with some points, any kind of points here at the end of this half, be huge.
Throw is high and out of the reach of third-string tight end Dalton Schultz. Amari Cooper's been playing with a bad left knee. And coming in over the last 5 games, only 18 receptions on 31 targets, and he has yet to really be involved. Been targeted twice.
And you look at his production on the year, and so much of that at home. He's really not been much of a factor in many road games. The Eagles here, second down, they're showing single coverage, and those matchups should favor the Cowboys.
Prescott throws over the middle, and the pass is caught, and there he is right on cue. Curry with a tackle on Amari Cooper, and that'll bring up third down.
Well, big third down. Cowboys have struggled here on this. That's a good sight to see Zach Ertz, at least on the sidelines. But I'll tell you, you have rib injuries and you play a position like that, it's hard to play with at any spot. But when you're a tight end, working the middle and going up for balls and exposing yourself, I don't know that we'll see him again.
1 for 5 on third down to the Cowboys. The pass is incomplete. A drop by Cooper. It was right in his gut, and it fell to the grass. Fourth down.
Yeah, I thought initially he had this, but you just have to make those plays.
Big drop by Cooper, and a missed chance for the Cowboys. 2-minute warning in Philadelphia.
Underwater.
We're not supposed to be down it.
Rated PG-13.
For all the seasons breeders, for the gingerbread architects, the lighting Jedi, and the gift detectives, for the family historians and tradition twisters, for all the families, big, small, chosen, and frozen. Whatever you give, however you gather, we're thinking of you.
Mark is the best husband and father you could ask for. He's just a big kid.
Best man at my wedding. Still keep him off the dance floor.
Howdy, folks, it's dinner time. Chicken fried and tasty sides. All of this for just $20. Get it from a KFC. Howdy, folks.
Get a $20 fill-up delivered or at a KFC. Verizon keeps business ready. And from the network powering the NFL, here are the moments of impact. The score was tied in Pittsburgh last Sunday night when a Josh Allen touchdown pass to Tyler Croft gave the Bills a fourth-quarter lead. With a pair of late interceptions, including one by Levi Wallace, Buffalo held on for the win to clinch their second playoff berth in 3 years. Brought to you by Verizon. Digital transformation never stops, and Verizon keeps business ready.
The Dallas Cowboys have 98 total yards. Over 5 possessions, they have just 3 first downs, and of the 98 total yards, 41 came on one throw to Michael Gallup. Big drop a moment ago by Amari Cooper to end this drive as Jones will punt his 4th punt of the half. And this one doesn't travel very far at all. It goes out of bounds outside the Eagles' 30. Just a punt of 30 yards. Moments ago, Zach Ertz, who we showed you on the bench, got this wrap that was around his midsection taken off. And the crowd's reacting because he's back out on the field and in the huddle.
A lot of speculation as to, what exactly he's dealing with. It's enough to where he winced in pain coming off the line without getting touched and obviously went in and got it checked. But, hey, these Eagles know what's at stake. This is a playoff game for them.
Pass is caught, and that is got it for 13 yards.
I understand you got to hesitate a little bit between those numbers, 88 and 86, and I had thought it was Goddard earlier in the ball game that was running off the field. And I tell you, Goddard, he's had a nice season, and he's come along and done some good things when they've needed him most. Also,
looks like this penalty will be against the Cowboys, and it won't matter. Quinn was lined up in the neutral zone. The pass complete to Goddard for 14 yards. And again, we saw this last week with Michael Bennett. Now it was Robert Quinn who was lined up in the neutral zone before the snap.
Offside, defense, number 58, lined up in the neutral zone. His penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down. It's hard to understand week after week when we call these games. We got guys for the Cowboys just lining up in the neutral zone. I know they're pressing the line a little bit to get to the quarterback, but you got a drop ball by Amari Cooper, a 4-punt, and now the Eagles are in a position to come away with more points and extend their lead before the half.
Wentz keeps throws. This is Goddard with a tight end screen. Flag is down on the play as Goddard is down at the 21. Cowboys believe this one's coming back. This is a Cowboys defense that has had a tough time defending screens. This was a tight end screen.
Yeah, Jason Peters was in the area. Illegal block in the back. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down. Joe, when the flag came out, it didn't look like Peters really had to do. I didn't see the block, but whatever he did, I mean, he didn't have to do anything. All he had to do was really stand there. You know, Heath is pretty much out of the play at that point, so that's a really costly penalty. You're talking about the Cowboys' problems with defending the screen. The screen play in a variety of ways in which the Eagles run it has been one of the few things they've been consistently good at, and it's something that the Cowboys definitely have to be prepared for. And the Eagles caught him there, but comes back with the penalty.
Well, Quinn was close to lining up in the neutral zone again. And now here is a catch made by Goddard. Thought for a moment he might have dropped it. But on that penalty against Peters, instead of a 1st and 10 at the 21, it was 1st and 20 at the 49. And a gain of 6 on that completion as the Eagles hurry it up with 2 timeouts.
They're one-on-one down here.
Wentz throws, pass is caught. Goddard again to the 35. And timeout taken by the Eagles. 3rd down. When we resume, let's find out what's coming up at the half.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, Christmas has come early as we give you the gift of an updated playoff picture. Plus, we'll see if the Raiders are being naughty or nice on their return to LA to take on the Chargers. Get out the milk and cookies. The Visa halftime is next.
So sweet. Ugly Christmas sweaters from our group back in Los Angeles, and we look forward to that.
What we've seen from Carson Wentz here in this first half, not surprising. They've worked the tight ends. They've worked Zach Ertz in the middle. He's worked Dallas Goedert in the middle, and then some of the high percentage stuff to Miles Sanders. Oh, that's the trio inside, regardless of whatever coverages Dallas has been playing. Now, right now, the 35-yard line, you're looking at, what, a 53-yard field goal from here. Carson Wentz, he just has to know he just simply cannot take a sack.
They're down in 6. The pass is lofted and incomplete. Goddard again, who's already got 7 catches. And here comes the field goal unit on for Philadelphia.
It was the right idea, and they run a bit of a wheel route to Goddard, and Carson Wentz, I mean, Goddard's open, and they just not on the same page with that throw. Goddard in the slot. And you see right there, and then he's got a lot. He's got Jalen Smith beat. You see what Jake Elliott's able to do here.
From 53. No good. Wide to the right, and now opportunity for the Cowboys before the half with good field position and 3 timeouts. Still down by just 7.
Before we talk about tax smart investing, what's new? Well, Audrey's expecting
Twins.
grandparents. We want to put money aside for them, so change of plans. All right, let's see what we can adjust. Maybe closer to the 20s.
Changing plans.
Okay. Mom, are you painting again? You can sew these. Let me guess. Change in plans?
At Fidelity, the change in plans is always part of the plan.
We made USAA insurance for members like Kate, a former Army medic made of the flexibility to handle whatever Monday has in store and tackle 4 things at once. So when her car got hit, she didn't worry. She simply filed a claim on her USAA app and said,
I've got this.
USAA insurance is made the way Kate needs it. Easy. She can even pick her payment plan, so it's easy on her budget and her life. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
Tremfya helps adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis uncover clearer skin that can last. In fact, Tremfya was proven superior to Humira in providing significantly clearer skin.
Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, or if you had a vaccine or plan to. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
Tremfya, uncover clearer skin that can last. Janssen can help you explore cost support options.
Two great tight ends involved in this one, Zach Ertz and Jason Witten. It was number 2 in catches and receiving yards all time at that position. Headed to the Hall of Fame. After a year in the booth, back at it. The Eagles can't feel good about the fact that they are over a 2-1 advantage in yards and time of possession. In this game, they're leading by just 7. After the missed field goal, in field position, Gallup makes the catch, and into Philadelphia territory they go, and they will spend their first timeout. A 16-yard completion to Michael Gallup.
Well, because of that missed field goal by the Eagles, it set the Cowboys up with great field position, and they only need about 11 yards, I guess, for 48-yard attempt, 50 yards. So after one completion, they're right there, and with 2 timeouts, still plenty of time for them to be able to do even more than that. But you're right. I mean, the Eagles have really dominated this first half. They came out and they got the touchdown, they got the 10 points, and even though they moved the football, coming up short, missed field goal, they turned over on downs, just have not been able to capitalize, and they've had some chances to get more points.
Michael Gallup has 75, and the Cowboys 114 yards, and now a throw to Cooper to the 35, and timeout number 2 is taken by Dallas with 18 seconds left. Second week active as a Cowboy for Kai Forbath. After Brett Maher was finally let go after going 20 for 30 in field goal attempts. Guy who hit from 63 yards this year, Brett Maher, with Forbath, has gone 4 for 4. That number 3 on his chest and a Cowboy helmet on his head. 2 plays and already inside field goal range of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, they've still got 1 timeout, but I would expect them to at least take a shot. To try to see if they can't come away with a touchdown and not just settle some of these underneath throws for field goal.
Here's one flip to Gallup, 4 yards for Michael Gallup, but he is held inbounds.
It's been a good job by the Eagles. Yes, even though they've given up the completions, they've at least been able to make the tackles and force the Cowboys then to use the timeouts. That's a heck of a play by Gallup, running away with the ball behind him, but a better play by Jalen Mills being able to make the shoestring tackle.
So now without any timeouts, 11 seconds left. The Cowboys have to be really careful here. Take a shot at the end zone or try to bite off more for the field goal try by Forbath, but
he's going to have to get out of bounds if that's the approach. I mean, they're in field goal range. They wouldn't risk that. I've got to believe that this ball is going to the end zone.
Instead, it's underneath, and Witt pops out of bounds with 6 seconds left to make the field goal try a bit easier for Forbat, who started onto the field, stopped, and now is told that it's his turn.
Well, if you believe in stats or whatever those things tell you, the Cowboys are 0-7 when they have trailed at halftime this year.
$32-yard try by Forbat, who hit from 49 earlier. And this one fades on in. And with 3 seconds left in the half, the Cowboys now are down by only 4. And Dallas will get the ball to start the second half. Hard to believe this is true, Mister, if you believe in stats and whatever those things tell you. Last 14 seasons, the NFC East has not had a repeat winner for the division. That's the longest streak in any division in NFL history. The last repeat team in the NFC East, the Eagles, from 01 through 04.
Hard to believe, actually, that's been the case, and for most of the season, it didn't look like anybody wanted it this year.
I tell you that because Dallas won the division last year. They just put together a 26-second field goal drive after that missed field goal attempt by Jake Elliott. Here's Gary, the fullback. Tackles made by Jeffy. This is a 4-point game at the half. The Eagles put up the first 10. The play of the first half is brought to you by Old Navy. And the only touchdown we've seen is the very busy Dallas Goddard. And the guy with the first name, Dallas, has the only touchdown of the day so far. Herb Menifee and the gang coming up for the Visa halftime, which starts right now.
Welcome to the Visa Halftime Report. Visa, everywhere you want to be.
Well, the fight for the crown in the NFC East has been a close one so far, 10-6. The Eagles on top at halftime. Welcome to the Visa Halftime. More highlights for you, starting with the Seahawks hosting Arizona.
All right, let's get it going. Russell Wilson getting ready to play action out of the eye, down at the goal line, drops it up nice and high to Drew Lord. There it is, a 3-yard touchdown, 7-0. Seattle on top of Arizona, then Kyler Murray to Larry Fitzgerald. Great job by Fitzgerald. What's this? 2-yard pass, take it. There you go, Larry. Head down, drive it into the end zone. Beautiful job. Arizona 14 and the Seattle Seahawks 7.
Bit of a surprise there. Elsewhere around the league, Denver and Detroit in a close one. The Raiders up by a touchdown at the Chargers. Earlier today, the Saints win by 10 over Tennessee. Temporarily, at least, moving to the number 2 spot in the NFC. Baltimore wraps up the home field advantage in the AFC with a win over Cleveland. The Jets take care of Pittsburgh. The Giants win in overtime at Washington. Indianapolis rolls past Carolina. Same story for Atlanta and Jacksonville. And with the loss in overtime, Cincinnati officially clinches the number 1 pick in next year's draft. All right, let's get back to some of the ups and downs, Michael.
Well, we talking about Carson Wentz, of course, is the leader of this team, but you know he's going to have to find a guy to help him along the way. And one being this tight end, he's been pretty accurate. He lost to Carson. He had to do a high ball that cost him Zach Ertz early in the game, but there, I think a Whiteside, a little high up top. Here, just throwing it up high to Goddard. And he's been good at using the height of his receivers to his advantage. And here, just moving out of the pocket, feeling the pressure inside, getting outside, or take a Whiteside again for a nice 12-yard gain. But this is, one of these games where they have to maintain the intensity that they came out there with in the first half. They can't afford to have those screens they had earlier get called back by penalty. They need every big play they could get.
Yeah, and on the other side, but Dallas drop balls. Where is the intensity, or I like to call it win-tensity? Because that's what it needs right now. This team is a good football team. We saw it last week.
I like that. That's good. That's good.
If I'm Jason Garrett, I'm going in there at halftime. Give them the Braveheart Mel Gibson speech. Let's go get it. So,
hey, they got Mel Gibson speeches, intensity, whatever it takes. They need to do something because right now, Dallas Goddard's touchdown, the only one we've seen in the first half, he's going to go for the decent play. How bad?
Today's game is brought to you by Visa. Where would you like to be? Visa. Everywhere you want to be.
Sheriff Bradford suffered a serious heart attack. The longest-serving member of his mounted posse shall serve as acting sheriff. You gotta be kidding me. I wish we were. You need three things to do this job. A badge, a gun, and what's in your heart.
The discovery with remote intelligence seafood, Land Rover, above and beyond.
That is finally. Who's locked?
I got it.
The season of adventure sales event is happening now. Land Rover, above and beyond. This holiday,
You came back. And while lots of things have changed,
Scroll the internet.
some things haven't. Get ready for a reunion 3 billion light years in the making.
On the economy, a unique leader, Mike Bloomberg's created over 400,000 jobs. As president, an opportunity economy that works for us. Tax fairness, where the wealthy pay their fair share. Education, affordable college and high-skill vocational training so people can succeed in the new economy. Economic security, lower-cost healthcare, and affordable middle-class housing. Proven leadership on jobs to build an economy where people don't just get by, they get ahead.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Don't wait for year-end. Get the biggest savings of the year now during the Hyundai year-end clearance sale. Like the Elantra, now only $119 a month. Or buy with 0 down and 0% APR for 72 months and pay nothing until March. Or get up to $2,500 cash back. Or the Santa Fe, only $159 a month. Or buy with 0 down and 0% APR for 72 months and pay nothing until March. Or get up to $2,250 cash back. Save this week during the Hyundai year-end clearance sale. 2020 Lexus NX for $219.
Lexus of Kendall.
So, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, late afternoon. It is your boy Lewis, man, and I am back once again with another banger with yet another video. So, I hope you guys are enjoying the first half. That is Joe Buck talking right there. The second half is coming up, but I just wanted to get by the first half stats real quick on this game. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Try to like the stream if you can. For people who are not able to listen to the game, or able to see the game on TV or happen to be on the road, check it in on the Lbfwn, and then you guys can catch it as you're listening on the road, watching here on YouTube on the Lbfwn. Appreciate you guys. So if you can, make sure to like the stream, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and make sure to share it. And once again, if there's any donate, you don't have to, it's not a requirement, but if you would like to donate to the channel via Cash App, if you have Cash App, there's the Cash App right there on the ticker on the front of the screen, as well you can see my man Doug Peterson with Carson Wentz. So once again, I will be switching the overlays and the thumbnails as we go through. There's Jason Garrett with the Cowboys right there. We have Dak Prescott right there. We have Michael Jenkins again with Zeke Elliott. And most importantly, you got Carson Wentz, who's actually played very well in this first half, ladies and gentlemen. So we will have a mix of between. So right now we will keep it that way, and we'll continue. So it is 10-6 at halftime with Cowboys Eagles. So if we look at the stats real quick, Dak Prescott is 11 of 18. He has 125 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Zeke Elliott has 9 yards on 5 carries, 1.8 per carry per attempt. Dak has a carry with 7 yards. Receiving, Michael Gallup 88 yards. That's 22 per catch on average. Jason Witten has 14 yards on 2 receptions. Amari Cooper, only thrown 2 twice, has 12 yards. Zeke has 2 receptions on 7 yards. Randall Cobb has 1 on 4. On the defense, Sean Lee has 4 tackles, 6 assists. He's the one that stands out for the Cowboys. Now, if we go to the Eagles side, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to like Carson Wentz, man. 18 of 25, 72% completed 72% of his passes for 177 yards. Miles Sanders has 24 yards on 8 carries. Carson Wentz has 10 yards on 3 carries of his own. Boston Scott has 7 on 2 carries, and Greg Ward Jr. has 1 carry on 5 yards. And if we look at the receiving, Dallas Goedert has been very busy right now. He has 60 yards on 7 receptions, and he has a touchdown catch. If you haven't noticed, Zach Ertz injured his rib during the game, and right now he is on the sidelines. They said he was questionable to come back due to injury, but he is right now on the sidelines, and likely he's not going to probably come back for this game. If you do have him on your fantasy team, and I have him on my fantasy team, this hurts a lot, especially because of the current matchup that I'm in, and I'm playing right now for the championship right now. So a championship is at stake, so you're going to try to be there to play. Hopefully he could come back, but it's like I doubt he's going to be really that effective and they'll be able to throw to him. So that's unfortunate for me, and that injury really does hurt. So hopefully Zach will be good to go next week against the New York Football Giants. Next week in Week 17. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, like the stream as you come in. Make sure to share the content and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, man. And appreciate it, man. So, and those are pretty much the first half stats. So it is 10-6 Philadelphia. The Cowboys will receive the ball at the start of the third quarter. So, definitely appreciate you guys checking in with me and, just enjoying this game, man. And, I got to say that the Eagles looked really good in the first quarter, especially that first series where Carson Wentz was able to he was connecting to, his receivers and allow Miles Sanders to run the ball a little bit. I think they're going to need a little bit more of that to definitely come back and definitely win this game because the division is on the line, folks. Both teams are 7-7. And remember, the Eagles need to win this game, and they need to win next week to win this division no matter what the Cowboys do. But it's most important they get this win. But their division hopes will go down the drain if the Cowboys win tonight. So it's crucial that the Eagles get enough plays on offense and play the stellar defense that they've played in the first half that have not allowed the Cowboys to get into the end zone and force them to hit 2 field goals in 30 minutes of action. So we still have 30 minutes left in the game, and hopefully these guys are able to do what they're supposed to do to get this win. So we will see. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, it is 10-6 in the first half, and why don't you guys enjoy this commercial while I continue to do some work here, and then you guys will hear Joe Buck and Troy Aikman for the call in the second half, and I hope you guys enjoy the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy.
Celebrating Infinity's 30th year with 2020 Edition 30 SUVs and get up to a $4,000 winter bonus on remaining 2019 models. Visit your South Florida Infinity retailer.
Want to take your X5 to the next level? Now you can with X5 Advantage, giving you enhanced performance and protection. When devices are connected to your home's Wi-Fi, they're protected, helping keep outsiders from getting inside. Plus, you get unlimited data, so you can stream, surf, and game all you want. With confidence, you can get coverage where you need it most. That's X5 Vantage. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $20 a month for 12 months. Or get 4 times the speed for just $10 more a month. Call, click, or visit a store today.
Kelsey yet to have a catch tonight. Get Mahomes come up with. They only bring 3 as he escapes. Close body, and he finds him. The Super Bowl experience presented by Lowe's. Live the glory of the NFL's 100th season. Kicking off January 25th at the Miami Beach Convention Center. Download NFL One Pass.
Today's coin toss is brought to you by Power Financial Credit Union, where we treat you like family.
About NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast, or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
And it does feel like the playoffs are here. Now it's over. Let's go out here and let's go to the world. Wentz, end zone, pass caught, touchdown Gunner. Wow.
You talk about the way to start a game. Right now, the Cowboys don't know what hit them.
That was today's game flow brought to you by Progressive. What hit it was a 10-0 Eagles lead right out of the gate, but the Cowboys have scored the last 6 points. 4-point game at the half, even though it felt like the Eagles dominated that first half. Dallas about to start the second half of the football.
Well, I feel like the Cowboys only being down 4 points. I think they've got to look at this and feel good about it, knowing that as good as they played offensively this year, they can't play worse than they did in that first half.
The drive will start at the 25, and we'll send it down to Aaron Andrews.
And to add to that, Joe, the Cowboys just want to stay on the field. I was talking to Jason Garrett coming out of the half, and he said we were only on the field for a little over 9 minutes there. So he was happy with the way the offense got some rhythm going towards the end of the first half. He said you can tell the Eagles are really trying to defend the run, and on our end, we have to stay persistent and patient because they want to run this ball.
Well, they've been stacking the defense. I mean, they got Malcolm Jenkins up there again. It's been all overloaded boxes, and they played the run well.
Here is Elliott on first down, gets a couple.
You look at that first half, Joe, and this is a game, at least in my opinion, that the Eagles, for all the reasons we've talked about, just cannot afford not to take advantage of the opportunities that they have, and yet they squandered some opportunities there in the first 30 minutes, and that's why I say a 10-6 game. Can Jim Schwartz and this defense, can they continue to do what they did through the first half? That's asking a lot of this group. Maybe they can, but the offense in this second half, they're going to have to capitalize more when the opportunities are there.
Here's Elliott, who got one on first down. They swing it to him, and he hops out of bounds. We'll see where they put him. They put him very close to first down yardage. First half was not pretty for the Dallas offense. Although if there's one thing they can take away, you see the drops. Here's one by Amari Cooper. It's third down and inches here. It looks like, despite the sprained AC joint in the right shoulder by Dak Prescott, he can throw it just fine.
They'll test it probably right here with a quarterback sneak.
Instead, they give it to Elliott. Looks like who got it, and he did, according to the official on the far side of the field.
Yeah, the Eagles thought maybe they'd made a stop, and they came in, and with the spot, it's going to be a first down. And I would have to imagine that the reason they don't go with the quarterback sneak is, in fact, because of the shoulder, Joe, because right there, we've just seen it over and over, really, from both these quarterbacks. 3rd and 1, and that was less than 1. It's been quarterback sneak. It's time to go fullback belly.
Elliott now 9 for 10 on 3rd and 1, converting to first down on the season. Play action, Prescott out to his right, the pass, another drop. Would have been a nice catch by Randall Cobb, but down near the ground, he couldn't secure it. 2nd and 10. And now Mills is down. Darby hurt, left with a hip flexor. Now Jalen Mills is seated at the 44. And so he gets attention, 2nd and 10, when we come back on America's Game of the Week. Eagles up 4.
Well, yeah, I've jiggled the handle. It's still not working. Yeah, I could use a different one, but I need all of them. Can you send somebody tonight? I mean, I have 68,000 people coming this weekend. Well, no, it's the 1, 2, 3. It's the 4th one. Wait, actually, no, it's the 3rd one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zach and Julie Ertz. I'll race you.
See you at the top?
Quit.
No, you quit.
I'm not quitting. Is that all you got?
Always in it to win it. Where would you like to be? Easy. everywhere you want to be.
Yes. Come on. Don't stop clapping now. Happy Honda Days is on now. Unwrap the joy of a new passport named Best in Class by Car and Driver. That's all right.
No matter how much life pushes us around, she keeps us centered. Introducing the Center of Me collection, because every Your Love Keeps Me Centered begins with K.
Pet care ain't easy. 12 hours, 20 dogs? Where's your belly rubs? After a day of chasing dogs, you shouldn't have to chase down payments.
Send invoices and accept payments to get paid twice as fast.
It's time to get yours.
Intuit QuickBooks, official sponsor of the NFL.
Cow. Incredible! Illinois. How about this? The Red Box Bowl, December 30th on Fox.
Today's game is sponsored by Bank of America. What would you like the power to do?
Jalen Mills was able to walk off under his own power, went into that medical tent. Sidney Jones takes his spot on second down and 10.
Here he is right here at the top, and we'll see if Dallas wants to try. They're giving him a little help right now.
Here's Elliott, makes the catch, breaks the tackle, and gets a first down. Broke away from Nathan Gary and got 10 and a first down.
Yeah, you see there Sidney Jones that came in for Jalen Mills, and they immediately then give him help with Malcolm Jenkins. And had they have gone single coverage, they were running Amari Cooper on a downfield throw. Maybe they take a shot there, but Dak Prescott's he hasn't really taken shots on the outside with some of these backup corners that are in.
Prescott keeps passes, caught. Gallup having a big game. And he gets 10 plus, another first down. Russell Douglas out there in coverage.
Yeah, this time he does, and they are able to get the slant then to Gallup. But I just think that if Prescott has time to throw, that these are matchups, I said it earlier, with Gallup and Amari Cooper, with those corners, they should favor the Cowboys.
Here's Elliott. And he is able to lunge for 10 after breaking through a tackle by Fletcher Cox. And it looks like Fletcher Cox is hurt. Obviously, the biggest presence along the defensive front for Philadelphia, now a 5-time Pro Bowler and an All-Pro last year. And let's see if we can figure out how the injury happened. He was grabbing at the back of that right arm. First down for Dallas when we come back. Concern for Fletcher Cox.
Apple Card is a new kind of credit card created by Apple. So it's simple and transparent with a new level of privacy and security. It lives here and here on your iPhone, and it will save you 6% on holiday gifts at Apple, like iPhone, Apple Watch, AirPods Pro, and so much more. Apply in as little as a minute, right in the Wallet app.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Hey! How's my little princess?
I want to be in a movie director.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, hell no. Come on.
This is awesome, man.
The greatest superheroes the world's ever seen.
Don't get too carried away. I'm going to find out who did this.
Whatever happens down there, we'll do with it together.
This is diabolical. Now streaming only on Prime Video, included with your Prime membership.
With all my baby clothes. All my baby clothes.
We come walk of life. We're proud of who we are and what we believe. We are among the 200,000 people who work for Bank of America. What would you like the power to do?
Rated E2F. What are we playing?
The Outer Worlds.
Oh, shrink 'em. Smaller. Shrink ray. Whatever you're into, discover your next favorite game with Xbox Game Pass.
Join now and get your first 3 months for $1.
The injuries continue to pile up for the Philadelphia Eagles. Fletcher Cox now in that medical tent as Jalen Mills was being carted off the field. Also without Ronald Darby. We'll have more on that with Fletcher Cox in a moment. Meanwhile, first down, 4 first downs on this drive for Dallas after having 5 the entire first half. Here's Elliott starting to get rolling here as he takes it down inside the 30. And Aaron Andrews, it looks like there is an issue and was an issue even before that tackle on Elliott by Fletcher Cox.
Right. This is coming out of the half, Joe. You see this wrap. I was told by the Eagles those are actually heating pads right there on that right elbow. And then you see what happened. It looks like he banged that elbow on Ezekiel Elliott's helmet. But he is back in the game now. We're told he is good to go. But it's something he's been dealing with.
So now second down and 2. They stay with Elliott, and a good play is made. Actually, Tony Pollard on the carry, a gain of 1, and it was Nathan Gary. So Pollard slips in there into the huddle on second down and a couple, and Pollard gets 1. They got him rolling with a 100-yard day on Sunday against the Rams. Now third down and 1. Pollard stays in, Elliott out. Toss to Pollard. Well played by Philadelphia. It's fourth down. Fletcher Cox back into the ball game. Made that play, and I think he's saying the ball was out and the Eagles recovered.
Yeah, Fletcher Cox, he's trying to get Doug Peterson to challenge this call. They're going to try to take a look at it and see if they can tell what happened here. Let's look. They come down, they run the option, they pitch it out to Pollard. Lucky they didn't lose more yardage than they did. Did the ball come out? There it is. It's out. It's out. Now is there a clean recovery? I know he came out of the pile with it.
The field goal unit is on here on fourth down. Here's Cox. He forced it.
Yeah, he's the one. He knew he did too.
The field goal unit is out there, and we'll see if there's a challenge coming from Peterson.
Yeah, it's just a matter of whether they can say it sure looks right there that maybe T.J. Edwards, well, it's still loose. Yeah, he's got it right there. That's the shot. That's the money shot that shows that it was a clear recovery.
And the challenge by Peterson, and it sure looks like he'll win it. If he does, that would mean this game has seen its first turnover. No Elliott, it was Pollard, and he coughed it up.
PS4 system starting at $249, rated T through M.
In 3 days, Spies in Disguise is delightfully wacky.
Science rocks.
A James Bond movie with bitches.
The inflatable hug.
Dude, you need medicine. A celebration of all that is weird. Now that's hot. Spies in Disguise, rated PG.
Hey, all set for the holidays?
I still need that special gift for Elena.
A new phone on Verizon's network. Best Buy will activate it for you. You walk out ready to go. Wish I was lame.
Teddy loves tug of war. In his lifetime, he'll pull hundreds of tons. That's why he needs a tailored recipe from Iams to help him stay fit. Iams, who I am.
We fed beef lovers a Whopper with no beef.
You can't imitate beef. It just tastes better.
Turns out these beef lovers love plants too.
That's an Impossible Whopper?
I'm a damn fool. Try the Impossible Whopper with a patty made from plants. 100% Whopper, 0% beef. Only at Burger King.
Everybody find something for everyone this holiday with low prices and free one-day delivery on millions of gifts with Prime. And I need you. For everything you need this holiday, visit Amazon.
I'm here to bring some old school romance back. Let's go. We'll teach singles the same dance, but separately.
I'm hoping for sparks right off the bat.
And they won't meet until they perform it together on a very unique first date.
My heart's beating so fast. Flirty Dancing, special preview in 1 week on Fox.
Today's team is sponsored by the all-new Impossible Whopper, made from plants and now available nationwide only at BK. And by PlayStation 4, the best place to play.
All right, there's a lot going on here. First, the challenge. And it looked like there was a clear recovery by Malcolm Jenkins after Fletcher Cox, gutting through an injury, forced the turnover. People have to be wondering, especially Cowboy fans, why is Ezekiel Elliott not in the game on 2nd and 2, then especially on 3rd and 1?
There was a fumble on the play recovered by Philadelphia. Will be there while 1st and 10. Philadelphia will not be charged in timeout. Game clock operator, game clocks at 10:12.
But here's the reason why Elliott was not in there on 2nd and 2 or 3rd and 1. He gets tackled on the first down play. His head obviously goes backward, hits the grass, and then it's Elliott who takes himself out of the ballgame.
Yeah, and he looks like he's fine on the sidelines. It's not to suggest that he suffered any type of injury. He does have the ability and the freedom to tap out whenever he wants a rest. We were both a little bit perplexed as to why on 3rd and 1 Pollard was staying in the game. Well, that's the reason why.
How about Fletcher Cox making a big play? Here is a handoff to Sanders, and we're looking back to the line of scrimmage as Sean Lee got through and made the stop.
I mean, Fletcher Cox, he goes down, and had he have stayed out, they would have been without 3 starters just on the defensive side of the ball from the 11 that began this game. He comes back in, and like I said, he was the one immediately after that pile on 3rd and 1 that came up and was saying to Doug Peterson to challenge the call. He knew that he had knocked it out. It was just a matter of whether there was going to be a shot of him, of the Eagles recovering it. Well, now Zach Ertz, he's back in the game. They're at the top of tight end.
On 2nd down and 10, a fake throw, and now after the drop back, the pass is caught. Nice move by Sanders for a Philly first down. Boy, did they hit on this 2nd-round pick from Penn State, Miles Sanders.
Well, Sayamala, the left guard, he gets beat. And you see the job that Carson Wentz does, just navigating that, and even as he's falling back, being able to deliver a perfect pass to Miles Sanders. That's a good job on Wentz's part of making an accurate throw while retreating from the pass rush.
13 touches for Sanders, 77 yards. Had 25 touches last week for 172 yards from scrimmage. Here he is. Jones with a nice stop. A gain of 3 on 1st down. Back in week 7, 4 takeaways for this Dallas defense. And by the way, 4 of just 15 on the year for Dallas. 3 sacks, and they've been shut out by this offensive line and by this offense with regard to takeaways so far in this one. Boston Scott checks in for the Eagles. And he gets it out of the backfield. Good open field tackle is made by Malcolm Smith. Just added this week.
Yeah, he's just added. He makes a really nice play there in space. And on the previous play, it was Byron Jones who came up and made a key stop defensively, for not much gain. So now, here they are at 3rd and 8 yards, and DeMarcus Lawrence back in the lineup. This guy, we've had a few of their games in recent weeks. We haven't called his name much. Highest paid guy in franchise history. These are the games they need him to make some big plays.
Extra men on the rush. Wentz gets hit as he let it go, and right on cue, DeMarcus Lawrence got through and made that hit on Wentz.
Takes an inside pass rush on Vaitai, who's starting in place of the injured Lane Johnson. He just was not going to be denied. And you see the effort that he gives there on 3rd down, knowing that he's got to get the ball back to the offense. And he alone is the one who disrupted that play.
So Lawrence makes that play. The punt coming from Johnston with Tavon Austin waiting. End over end. Austin stays away. We'll see where they put it. The answer is at the 21 for the Cowboys, who take over, trailing by 4, and we're right back after this from Verizon.
Verizon's important to us because we FaceTime with our grandparents all the time.
When you have the best network, you want to give the best network.
Feliz Navidad!
This holiday.
The punt coming from Johnston with Tavon Austin waiting. End over end. Austin stays away. We'll see where they put it. The answer is at the 21 for the Cowboys, who take over, trailing by 4, and we're right back after this from Verizon.
Verizon's important to us because we FaceTime with our grandparents all the time.
When you have the best network, you want to give the best network.
Feliz Navidad!
This holiday.
This one is floated for Cooper out of bounds. Russell Douglas out there for Philadelphia.
Just had a hard time getting Amari Cooper going here in the last couple of weeks. Just 2 receptions here in this ball game, 12 yards. And has one-on-one with Russell Douglas, but just haven't been able to capitalize on some of those opportunities that they have, and the Eagles just continue to overload the box. You look at what they have right there in the middle.
Here is Elliott, and he's brought down about half a yard shy of a first down, although a pretty good spot, and it's going to be 3rd down and less than 1 as Nigel Bradham got out there for the Eagles to make the tackle.
That was a great job by that offensive line, creating a huge hole for Elliott on that run. Tyron Smith, 77, and you see Suafilo, the job that he does, sealing the inside, making this a very short 3rd and 1.
Elliott gets it. A gain of 2 on 3rd down and 1, and the drive continues for the Cowboys, who trail by 4, but it's a 1-possession game, and a game where if the Cowboys win it, they'll have back-to-back NFC Eastern Division championships and stamp their ticket to the playoffs. 3 tight ends in there for the Cowboys. Pass is caught in the first of the game for Jarwin.
It's a really great route by Blake Jarwin. He played wide receiver until his last year of college, and he runs routes like it. So he's an extremely athletic guy. He can really run, and he comes out of that break, and with it being such a big target like that, 6'5", 260 pounds, he's going to catch most throws, and probably hasn't gotten as many opportunities this year as he would like.
Here's Elliott. Good play made by Barnett. Derek Barnett, who injured his ankle at Miami, had missed the previous 2 games. Pass rush had suffered for the Eagles without his presence He made that play. A loss of 1.
There he is, 96 at the bottom. Jason Witten is really, for all he's done as a receiver, he's been, one of the best blocking tight ends also, but great job by Barnett getting past him and making a play.
Pass is incomplete. Amari Cooper looking for a flag, doesn't get it with Rasul Douglas out there covering. It's third down. This week on America's top-rated Friday night show, Daniel Bryan, The Miz, and Baron Corbin all battle for a shot at SmackDown's Universal Championship in a huge holiday episode of Friday Night SmackDown right here on Fox. 3rd and 11. Amari Cooper's been targeted 7 times. Still just 2 catches, 12 yards.
Well, they continue with Rasul Douglas at the bottom. They just continue to let him match up one-on-one.
Prescott throws. Pass is incomplete. Too high for Cooper, who was wide open.
Yeah, wide open, Joe, and they're just playing zone coverage. And really, Dak Prescott could have thrown this ball just about anywhere he wanted. I mean, there's so much air in this defense, and you just don't get more open than that. I'd like to see Cooper go up with both hands, but I don't know whether or not that would have made much of a difference. That ball's pretty high on him, but he's sitting right there in the hole. It's a pretty friendly look for a quarterback. He just simply missed him.
He had, talking about Prescott, Gallup wide open underneath that. Jones hits it, and into the end zone it goes. Wentz and the Eagles offense back to work in this battle for the NFC East.
I'm a tailgater tailgating to get to my tailgate. Now, it might not get me there any faster, but hey, it gets me ready for football. Let's tailgate. I can't go anywhere. But you're so busy watching me tailgate that you don't see the one in front of you. Your cut rate car insurance, they might not pay for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
This holiday with Apple Card, save 6% on gifts at Apple. Apply in as little as a minute, right in the Wallet app.
There's just something different to a Disney movie.
I think we've watched every single movie at least twice.
Verizon knows there's no better way to stream your Disney favorites than on America's most reliable network. That's why we give you Disney Plus on us with your unlimited plan.
He loves Star Wars more than anything, and since we have Verizon, we're going to be able to stream it like that.
Plans start at just $35 per line. And now, buy one of our best phones and get one free. Plus, get $400 when you switch.
Anybody want to join the dark side? I will.
Because the network more people rely on gives you more.
The only way to do this job is to not care about losing.
I'm gonna fight this. This season, I'm risking $250,000 of my money each week when you play the Fox Sports Super 6 game. Pick the outcome of 6 games and play for free to win my money.
Week 16 continues with Sunday Night Football on NBC and Monday Night Football on ESPN. Then Week 17 kicks off next Sunday. Stream games on mobile with the Yahoo Sports and NFL apps.
Welcome back to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Aerial coverage brought to you by State Farm. The Dallas Cowboys, with a win, they win the division. The Eagles with a win just need a win next week at the Giants or a Cowboys home loss to Washington to win the division. Philly leads by 4, 4:45 left, quarter number 3. Toss to Boston Scott. Makes his way through the Cowboy defense until Sean Lee gets a hold of him.
Go back to that third down miss by Prescott. Here's Sidney Jones here, and what they do is they run an inverted cover two, which it still presents itself like a traditional cover two, but that's the hole within that scheme. Is you're going to see Amari Cooper when he comes into that hole. Prescott reads it beautifully, but those are the missed opportunities. It's just a throw, and I understand that, but it's the difference in keeping a drive alive and being able to potentially come away with points on the drive, and that's what this game comes down to, those opportunities on third downs and converting.
Here's a pass to Ertz. Zach Ertz, who was looked at in the locker room, came back in the first half, has his first catch of the game for 5 yards and a first down.
Yeah, the Eagles, they have, in general, they've moved the ball. They've at least been able to flip field position, get a couple first downs, but they just haven't really put it all together. They just feel like they're kind of hanging on by a thread offensively.
Here is Scott with a nice carry on first down and a pickup of 5. See what the Eagles have done over their last 5 possessions after getting out to a 10-0 lead, and 5 of Carson Wentz's first 7 completions went to wide receivers. They've been looked at pretty much since. Nice catch by Scott, first down. And they're taking offense and yards from wherever they can find it. And now it's Boston Scott making a couple of plays.
We actually haven't seen as many screen flat passes from the Eagles as I thought we would. We had one called back, a tight end screen in the first half. This one's a running back screen to Boston Scott. They got the big left guard, Samalo, out there in front. But a nice gain. And like I was saying earlier, when you look at the plays that have given the Eagles an opportunity here over the last 2 to 3 weeks, it consistently, over and over and over, it's been their screen game.
Wentz throws, pass is caught. Ward, big play, and out of bounds at the 19. A completion of 38. And there's Greg Ward again. Just a totally blown coverage. Out there on the outside, it looked like on the outside they're playing man coverage. Inside Malcolm Smith, he wouldn't be matched up on Greg Ward, so it didn't look to me so much like it's on Malcolm Smith. It's on the outside corner. It just totally collapsed. Wentz makes a move, breaks a tackle. And after DeMarcus Lawrence could not bring him down, Carson Wentz with a nice gain on first down of 7. Let's go back to that previous play.
Yeah, they're in a middle safety look. I just couldn't see exactly who that was. It was Byron Jones who was out there. Playing, but he was running like he was in man coverage, and that's why Greg Ward was as open as he was.
Second down and 3. Pass is caught. There's Ertz again. Sets up first and goal. That completion to Greg Ward was the first completion for the previous 18 attempts by Carson Wentz to a wide receiver. And that set this up. Now first and goal. Handoff here to Sanders. Eagles knocking on the door as Heath came up to make the stop, a gain of 4. Second and goal. And a player is down for Dallas. That's Jeff Heath.
Jeff Heath has been battling both shoulders that have been giving him some problems. He returned after missing 3 games last week against the Rams, and he's been over like that might be what it is again now. It's a heck of a drive by this Eagles offense, and they were able to get the screen game going, the big play up the field, running the ball tough. This drive started on the 20-yard line.
Crowd booing Heath. They thought he was just taking a knee, stalling with all this momentum by the Eagles offense, but those shoulder injuries are legit. And he is in some pain, and these Cowboys need him in their secondary. They lose a lot when he's not available. With the ball inside the 2, second and goal. 8-play drive so far, covering 79 yards, 4 first downs. Darian Thompson takes over at safety for Heath. Sanders hesitates. Woods stands him up with Jalen Smith. And now 3rd down and goal.
It's a really great job by Jalen Smith of filling the gap. Number 54 right there, he scrapes and he feels he gets some help, like you said, from Woods, but he was the guy who initially made contact, kept him from scoring.
3rd down and goal, 10th play of the drive. Sanders got the touchdown, Philadelphia.
Malo does a great job here, and then in the middle, these two, the center, Jason Kelsey, and the right Pro Bowl player, Brandon Brooks. The push that they get, look at that hole. Great job by this offensive line, really by the entire offensive unit, taking a drive. They had, like I said, they moved the ball, but they really just had not done a whole lot with it since they'd gotten their 10 points and taking the length of the field for a touchdown.
Delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Truck. So the extra point is pushed 5 yards back, and souvenir for those two here in Philadelphia. What a moment. What a job tonight by the Eagles to this point. With all the players not available, Pro Bowl players. 10 guys on IR. Here they are, leading by 11. We showed you Jeffrey Lurie celebrating. His Eagles Autism Foundation has teamed up with Popcorn for the People, a nonprofit that creates meaningful employment for those with autism. Popcorn is served here at the stadium by employees who are individuals with autism. A portion of the proceeds will support the Eagles Autism Foundation that has raised more than $7 million for autism research and programs since launching in 2017.
You talk about a job that this Eagles team has done, Joe. How about the job Doug Peterson and that staff have done? And there's another quarter left to be played, and I know Doug Peterson doesn't want to accept a lot of credit and passes it around to the rest of the guys on that staff, but what he did last year, and they were down and out, and they lose their quarterback, and they get on a roll, and they get to the postseason, and this year, of course, it's been tough in the entire division, and with the players that they have out and the showing that they've had, regardless of whatever happens from this point forward, the rest of this game, they've had a great showing. He's done a remarkable job, and as has Jim Schwartz.
Holland will bring it out. Can't get to the 25. Brought down by T.J. Edwards. And that's the end of quarter number 3. Eagles by 11. Battle for the division continues. Quarter number 4 coming up after this from your local Fox station.
Save time this season with Drive Up at Target. Just go up, tap the app, and get everything on your list. So quick the kids won't even notice. Make your holiday shopping easy and try Drive Up at Target.
There's a booking for every resolution. Book yours at any price at Booking.com.
You've been chosen because you're the best. Fox brings you a Lego battle that is unfreaking believable. I've been chosen because I'm Batman. Lego Masters. Series premiere February 5th on Fox.
At Chevy, we're all about bringing families together.
This time of year, that's really important.
That's why our Chevy employee discount is now available to everyone.
The Chevy price you pay is what we pay.
Not a cent more. Family is important to us.
So happy holidays.
And welcome to the family.
It's Chevy family.
Use your Chevy employee discount for everyone to get a total value of over $11,800 on this Silverado All-Star. Get the Chevy employee discount for everyone today.
The Joseph A. Bank lowest prices of the year event. Save up to 85% off. Suits for $149, sport coats for $99, dress shirts, sports shirts, and sweaters for $29, plus an extra 60% off clearance. The lowest prices of the year event. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
Kerrygold has a taste so rich it can take you to Ireland's lush green pastures, where grass-fed cows produce rich, creamy milk for a truly delicious taste. Kerrygold, the taste that takes you there.
The flock blindly falls into formation. Plowing south for the winter, they never stray from their predetermined path. But this season, a more thrilling journey is calling. Defy the laws of human nature at the Season of Audi sales event. Get exceptional offers now.
2020 Lexus NX for $219.
At Lexus of Kendall and Lexus of West Kendall.
Andy Mitchell doing his usual great work. Camera operator on our crew as America's Game of the Week continues. Fourth quarter now, and urgency for the Dallas Cowboys offense, trailing by 11. A road favorite coming into this game. Prescott throws and the pass incomplete. Gallup, the target. Let's go back to that 38-yard completion to Ward on the previous drive by Philly.
Here's Jordan Lewis. It looks to me like he's playing man. There's Ward when he runs the out and up. And because Lewis is playing man coverage, it's what opens up that boundary throw. And I just cannot imagine that they would have Malcolm Smith trying to cover a wide receiver in man coverage. It looks to me like Jordan Lewis maybe got kind of crossed up on what exactly the coverage was, but regardless, that's why it was as open as what it was, a 38-yarder to Greg Ward, which set up that touchdown.
Xavier Suafilo is down, injured. He's playing left guard for the injured Connor Williams, who was playing great, but tore his ACL against the Bills on Thanksgiving. Joe Looney, 8-year vet, will check in while they examine Suafilo.
It gets pushed back, and always worry about that with these offensive linemen, and gets rolled up as it looked like Derek Barnett for the Eagles. And like you mentioned, they lose Connor Williams, and then they've got a guy like Xavier Suafilo who's able to step in and does a nice job. Now you lose him, and Joe Looney, who started last year at center with Travis Frederick out, he can play both guard and center. He's able to step in, and that they haven't had many injuries, but that is some of that depth that this Cowboys team does have.
Jalen Mills is back in for the Eagles. 2nd down and 10. Received some drops by Cowboy receivers. We've also seen Dak Prescott with that injured right shoulder miss open receivers. Here is Elliott on 2nd down and 10. He gets 9.
Well, the big thing that the Eagles defensively have done a good job of tonight is they just haven't – they gave up a 41-yard reception to Michael Gallup in that first half. Other than that, they've kept everything pretty much in front of them, and they just have not given up many easy plays.
Prescott to his right. Pass is broken up for Amari Cooper. And on 3rd and 1, they do not run it. They try and throw it, and Avonte Maddox knocked it away. It's 4th down.
I think this is one that will certainly be questioned. That's great coverage by Avonte Maddox, but I think what I've seen of is fortunate it wasn't intercepted. Maddox was able to get his hands on that ball, but what I've seen of Ezekiel, I mean, I like my chances with him. And once again, this Eagles defense shows up.
A big change in momentum happened with a fumble by Tony Pollard on a 3rd and 1 carry. Now we've got a false start against Dallas. And this thing is starting to pick up momentum even more so, rolling Philadelphia's way.
False start. Offense number 89. 5-yard penalty remains 4th down.
I'll tell you now, now it's 4th and 6, but 4th and 1 at this point in the game, I can see Jason Garrett going for it. He's done it before. He's been pretty conservative for the most part throughout his coaching career, but he's done it this year, just a few weeks ago. Instead, of course, now with the penalty, there's no chance.
Punt safely caught by Greg Ward, and the Eagles get it right back after a 3 and out. And it is getting late early here for the Dallas Cowboys in this matchup of 2-7-17. 4th quarter, 14:09 left.
Coast Guard heroes arriving in the Abaco Islands.
5 young boys create a rescue trampoline.
A thirst to run a marathon in under 2 hours. We have seen what we thought was unseeable.
A relay of dogs will lead blind runner Tom Panic across the finish line.
Nicolas Mahut lost in the French Open, but then his 7-year-old son ran onto the court to give his dad a big hug.
Her and her sister, heroes for many little girls out there.
Olympic mime, amazing mom. She's my hero.
Exactly what I was thinking.
When you are free to be you, it is the best feeling in the world.
He's the Sully Sullenberger of pizza. My family is making a grant to eliminate their student loans.
We know deep down what's right and what's needed.
I'm going to fight this.
Who said I can't? Nobody!
Here it comes. Never been done in competition.
The category is love, y'all.
Use your heart, your courage and vision to fix, to heal, to empathize, to connect. Because living life for something bigger than yourself is a hero's journey.
Iowa.
Touchdown, Iowa!
USC.
What a play!
The San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl. Friday at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on FS1. Today's game is sponsored by Visa. Everywhere you want to be.
Over the last 3 Cowboy drives, the Philadelphia defense has made 2 third down and 1 stops. They got that fumble by Pollard, and then the Cowboys elected to try and throw it. Didn't want to line up and go for it on 4th down and 1. That will be questioned. Eagles get it back, up by 11, and here's a screen for Sanders. Good blocking out in front, down near the 41 of Dallas. Brandon Brooks out in front of that with a good block.
And we'll watch Sean Lee here as he steps up, and he's reading the action in the backfield. He sees play action, and so he bails out, and that move by him is what allows them, the lineman, to get out in front. Another successful screenplay by the Eagles.
Here's another touch by Sanders as Lee makes the tackle. Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense number 62. 10-yard penalty and repeat first down.
They get Jason Kelsey with his third hold of the season as he got Antoine Lewis. That moves the ball back to midfield. Makes it 1st and 18.
Now they got Goddard. He's down here at the bottom of the screen. Keep an eye on him. He's one-on-one.
Out to Scott, and he gets walloped by Jeff Heath, who checked out the last time the Eagles had it. Back in there and just made that play a loss of 4.
Really a great job by Jeff Heath coming up and making a play there to keep it at 2nd and long. The Eagles just trying to get the ball out of Wentz's hands quickly. You know, another one of those screen plays, get it out quick to Scott and Jeff Heath. He's a violent player. I know when he was out those 3 games, they missed the physical style. Just a matter of whether his body can hold up.
Now 2nd down and 22. Wentz. Pass complete to Ertz. And the tackle made by Jordan Lewis. 3rd down coming up after that gain of 8.
Well, they got it at least into a position where still 3rd and long. I think Wentz has to be smart with the ball. I'll tell you, the Cowboys, we talked about it a few weeks ago, they had gone through a series of games where they just had not been able to create a takeaway, and that's been the case tonight. I mean, the Eagles have gotten 1 takeaway on defense. The Cowboys have not been able to help that offense. This would be a good time to come up with a play.
Neither defense has a sack in this game either. 3rd down and 14, quick throw. Pass is caught by Ertz. Makes a move, 4th down coming up. Michael Bennett back downfield, made that stop.
Well, 55-yard field goal from here, and Elliott has missed already, but they're trotting him out.
Jake Elliott is 8 for 13 at 50-plus in his career. This will be a 55-yard try. Last one drifted wide to the right.
This could be the break. If he misses this one, they set the Cowboys up with great field position.
And he's missed again. Elliott has missed from 53 and 55, and that one was not even close. Opportunity now for Dallas as they trail by 11.
A migraine hope from Lbfwn. To be there for the good and not so good. For the mundane, the awe-inspiring, the heart-racing, the heartbreaking. That's what life is all about. Showing up. Unless migraine steals your chance to say, I am here. We aim to change that with Lbfwn, a preventive treatment for migraine in adults. 1 dose once a month. Lbfwn is proven to reduce the number of monthly migraine days. For some, that number can be cut in half or more. Don't take Lbfwn if you're allergic to it. Allergic reactions like rash or swelling can happen hours to days after use. Common side effects include injection site reactions and constipation. It doesn't matter what each day brings, so long as you can say, I am here. Aim to be there more. Talk to your doctor about Lbfwn.
Good morning. More treatment.
We're going to try something different today.
Oh, so pretty.
Dogs bring out the good in us. Pedigree brings out the good in them.
You try baking a pie. People think my job is easy. You just go on TV and talk, right? Well, each season, there's over 1,500 players and hundreds of games. Plus passing yards, turnovers, injuries. We have to be ready to analyze any of it on live TV. If we fumble on air, that's a problem. IBM Watson helps us wrap our heads around all that data and quickly find relevant insights using AI, so we can give every fan the best show possible. Welcome, everybody, to Box Kickoff. I'm Brittany.
At Burger King, the 2 for $6
deal just got better. Now add 2 fries and 2 drinks to your favorite 2 sandwiches, all for just $10. Pick your 2 favorites from the Whopper, Crispy Chicken, or Spicy Crispy Chicken, and add 2 fries and 2 drinks, all for just $10. Only at Burger King.
In the visiting owner's suite, Jerry Jones and ex-governor of New Jersey, Chris Christie, are commiserating about what they see. Christie, a Cowboys fan, and Philadelphia's been the more impressive team so far, but an opportunity here from the 45 after the missed field goal attempt by Elliott. Here's Ezekiel Elliott, brought down from behind by Fletcher Cox, a gain of 4.
Yeah, the miss by Jake Elliott certainly did not do this Eagles defense any favors. You think back to the end of that first half, the missed 53-yarder set up 3 points for the Cowboys with under 30 seconds. Can they capitalize on this field position? Right now, it looks like maybe Suafilo is back. He came back in. Yeah, he's back on the ground, getting tended to.
Just trying to figure out what happened to Suafilo.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, that was, first of all, he gets leg whipped by Lyle Collins into the back of his right leg and then gets bent over backward. And that left knee for the front of that. The NFC East, a tie at the top. The Cowboys beat Philly back in week 7. That's why a win here in this one by Dallas gives the Cowboys the division. A win by Philadelphia here gives them the opportunity to win at the Giants next week and win the division. Or hope for a Cowboy home loss to Washington. Cowboys got their best starting field position after that missed field goal try by Elliott, 2nd and 6. Prescott pulls it down, hits Ezekiel Elliott, and a great tackle by Jenkins.
Malcolm Jenkins has been doing that for a long time, hasn't he? That's a great job trying to bring down a guy like Ezekiel Elliott. It's good coverage. He pursues to it. Even that first down play, when they got the ball to Elliott, the pursuit and only giving up a 4-yard gain. But Malcolm Jenkins comes up and he makes a pretty tough tackle look rather routine.
100th game as an Eagle for Malcolm Jenkins. He came to Philadelphia as a free agent from the Saints in 2014. 3rd down and 6.
Eagles playing coverage here. They're going to drop this safety down.
Prescott able to stay on his feet for a moment, and down he goes. Play made by Sweat. Fletcher Cox had pressure, and Sweat able to make the play, a loss of 3.
You see right here, they dropped the safety down. Initially, they showed 2 deep. He drops in. He's going to look for any crossers, but the defensive front, when this defense has been at its best at any time under Jim Schwartz, that defensive front has been dominating, and they're able to get to Prescott.
They need to make another play. It's 4th down and 9. That was the first sack by either team in the game. And the pass is caught. And any opportunity you feel the Cowboys could have the rest of the way is kept alive by that diving catch by Cobb.
It's a great job by Randall Cobb being able to, one, make the play, but he sees that Dak Prescott's looking for him, and he slides just enough, makes a veteran move to free himself up from coverage.
17 yards on 4th and 9, and it took a great catch to convert. Here he is now. The throw too high. There's nothing wrong with the velocity for Dak Prescott with that injured shoulder, but he's been off on a lot of throws.
Yes, he has, and he has been off for a couple weeks, actually. And, you know, those, even that, though, I mean, it's you want to make it easier. That's a ball that I bet Randall Cobb makes 90% of the time, but could have been a much easier play.
2nd down and 10. Here's Elliott underneath. Tackle is made by Monte Maddox. A pickup of 6.
You watch these completions underneath, and it looks like there's room for Ezekiel Elliott to really do some damage with the football, but the Eagles, they just collapse immediately. The pursuit that they have shown has been pretty impressive.
Amari Cooper not on the field on 3rd down and 4. Wasn't on the field for 2nd down. Prescott going to go for it all with Gallup, and it's incomplete. Another 4th down coming up with Jalen Mills downfield in coverage.
Well, I do give these defensive backs, and now they're going to run out Kai Forbath for the 3 points. But I give these defensive backs for the Eagles a lot of credit. And, yes, Mills is the starter. He was banged up. He left the game for a little while, and they've held up. Jim Schwartz has asked them to hold up in one-on-one coverage, and they've done it.
Here's Kai Forbath with a 49-yard drive. And Forbath has been one of the best Cowboy players in this game. He's 3 for 3, makes it a 1-possession game. It's an 8-point affair in Philadelphia, under 8 to go.
Here come old flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He got juju eyeball, he want holy roller. He got hair down to his knee.
Alexa, play Abbey Road by the Beatles on Amazon Music.
Come together right now over me.
I'm just really stressed. What? I haven't gotten any of my holiday shopping done.
Go to oldnavy.com, buy online and pick up in store in just 2 hours.
How did you do that? Magic. That's amazing. Oh, could I have the weekend off magically?
I don't know that trick.
Wait is over. T-Mobile is lighting up 5G nationwide. While some 5G signals go only blocks, T-Mobile 5G goes miles. Beyond the big cities, to the small towns, to the people. Now, millions of Americans can have access to 5G on T-Mobile. And this is just the beginning. T-Mobile, the first and only nationwide 5G network.
Cute jacket. What kind of yellow is that?
The Hall of Fame kind. Rod is really into this Lowe's partnership.
He show you what he did to his man cave? Turn it into a Rod pod.
That's nothing. Nacho Chase Lounge. I bet if I asked, he'd put a lazy river in my living room. Oh, you like tubing? I got you. Get your choice of a Cobalt drill or impact driver for $99. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Go to NFLshop.com and gear up.
We've been keeping an eye on Amari Cooper, who's been in that position with that look here during the break. 9 targets, just the 2 catches. Was not out there on that last 3rd down play. Here is Scott on the return. And the tackle is made by Byron Jones. After a 30-yard return by Boston Scott, who they're growing to love here in Philadelphia. Time for today's Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. The Eagles with 2 or more tight ends. Weeks 1 through 15, 44% of the time. In this game, 56% of the time. We've seen Ertz, Goddard, and some Joshua Perkins sprinkled in.
A great job. We came into this game talking about Carson Wentz and this being the biggest game of his career, a playoff-type game, which he has not played in. And I tell you, he has been outstanding. Can he finish this thing off? Can he put together a drive that comes away with some points?
He ducks under a sack, and will carry for a positive play out near the 39 as Robert Quinn had pressure. But good work by Wentz to pick up 6.
Yeah, really great job. I mean, he has been pretty masterful in the pocket. He hasn't taken the sacks. He hasn't turned the ball over. He's been efficient with his throws. That's good work by him of turning a sack into a really positive gain. And right now the Cowboys are working against the clock. And if they can put together a drive, the Eagles, like I said, milk some time off the clock, come away with a field goal, they can pretty much ice this game.
Here's Sanders hit in the backfield and brought down. Carson Wentz has been sacked a career-high 35 times this season, has not been sacked in this game by the Cowboys. A loss of 2 as Jeff Heath came through and made that play.
Big play right there. They lose yardage, now 3rd and 6. The Cowboys have only forced 1 3 and out in this ball game. Can they force a second with the game on the line?
3rd down and 6. Low snap, Wentz floats it, pass is caught for the first down by Goddard. A career-high 8th catch for number 88.
Well, the Cowboys don't blitz a lot, but they did there on 3rd and 6. They've got Heath matched up. They bring Jalen Smith up the middle. The offensive line does a great job of blocking it up. A perfect back shoulder throw by Carson Wentz and an adjustment by Goddard, and he looked like he might be a little slow coming up, and sure enough, as he's walking off.
Boy, big play, huge play for Dallas Goddard, who was really coming into his own. And as we said, career high receptions, receiving yards, 8 catches, 82 yards. And those were big yards by number 88.
Yeah, you look at the way that Carson Wentz has spread the ball around in this game.
Here is Sanders knocked down by Bennett. And now he's yelling at his own sideline of defense to get going.
Get going. They got to make a stop. You know, they get any really, they don't even have to get a first down, and they're in field goal range. How much confidence, however, does Doug Peterson have right now and Jake Elliott, who's missed 2 in the 50-yard range?
2nd and 13. Wentz keeps. Ball is out. And Wentz able to get back on top of it as Robert Quinn knocked it away. And that is fumble number 47 in the young career of Carson Wentz. And his 15th of this year, but he was able to get back on it.
Yeah, he gets back on it, which is obviously huge. But they lose a ton of yardage, and now trying to get back into field goal range. They were right, they didn't need a lot before they were, but now they need quite a bit. And I'm just not so sure that Peterson has the confidence to attempt anything.
Here's a screen that's incomplete, and that stops the clock. So a safe throw, and the Eagles can't complete it, and what looked like a promising drive to, in essence, end this ball game stalls. Clock is stopped. Cowboys 3 timeouts with 4:40 to go.
The thing about it is, Joe, is he had it. I mean, they were going to pick up some pretty good yardage on this play, and it looked like Wentz was almost throwing it away. It was so hard and low. I mean, he just didn't give him a chance. But if he makes that play, it looks like he might have been able to get into field goal range or at least give him a decision to make.
Cameron Johnston to punt it. Cobb with a fair catch. Called in near the 11. Moments ago, the Eagles had a 1st and 10 at the Dallas 40, but could not do anything more. And we'll welcome you inside the broadcast booth, everybody. And, man, I just right now I am so impressed with the job that the Eagles have done, Doug Peterson has done. They seem outmanned with regard to who's available at the talent positions, but man, they played really well.
They played outstanding, and as great as they've played, it's still a one-possession game. And Dak Prescott knows that. So it's all right in front of him still.
Here's a pass caught by Cobb for a first down. Down by 8. A 13-yard completion here to Randall Cobb.
This guy's been such a great addition to this ball club and the things that he's able to do. And you know, it gets challenging you don't want to give up the big play. You tend to lose a little aggressiveness as a defense the later the game goes when the game's on the line.
Prescott throws, passes too far as Austin was behind the defender, Rasul Douglas.
Well said. You know, in this situation, you know, it's like I said, they've given up one big play really throughout this game, and Douglas gets beat immediately off the line of scrimmage. And Tavon Austin knows it.
Amari Cooper was not out there on those first 2 plays in this possession, now back out there. Dak has completed passes at 55.6%. Second and 10. Pass is caught. Big hit, and Cobb somehow hangs on, stays on his feet. Rasul Douglas delivered the hit in a gain of 21.
Yeah, they just run him up in the seam and put the ball right on him in that zone coverage. And like I said, he's been more of a vertical threat than you typically get from a slot receiver. He's a tough guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, they're at midfield.
Those plays routine throughout his career.
Prescott, Gallup. He can't make the
Wow,
catch
and
off
Michael
his
Gallup
hands.
misses the
And
play,
another
man,
missed
just out of
chance
his
for the
hands.
Dallas offense as that was there. Gallup could not make the catch.
That would have been a
This
gain
time,
of 30
Jalen
yards
Mills
right
is
there
the
on that
victim.
play.
You know, and Michael Gallup, they're just kind of sitting on those routes, and they're able to get in behind him. That's one, unlike the Tavon Austin throw, that's money. And that's one that Gallup has to be able to make. This pass rush for the Eagles has gotten tired.
6 drop passes today for the Cowboys. That might have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
Second and 10, 4-man rush. Prescott dunks it. Pass is caught by Cobb. And he's got a first down at the Philadelphia 35. Avonte Maddox brought him down.
Well, they're finally taking advantage of some of the matchups that they've just been unable to do. That time, Avonte Maddox across the board, one-on-one. I like those matchups favoring the Cowboys. They're finally being able to do some of the things with some time in the pocket for Prescott.
Underneath, pass is caught. That's Austin. So Afilo is out. Looney is taken over at left guard. Gain of 5 here. Pass is caught for a first down by Amari Cooper, just his 3rd catch of the game. And the clock continues to wind with under 2:20 to go.
Yeah, soft coverage on the outside, but yet Jalen Mills is gonna give up some of those. Just doesn't want to get a run by again, but he comes up and he's able to then make the tackle.
They just get it away before the 2-minute warning. Underneath, wide open, is Cooper. With 1:54 remaining, and the Cowboys needing a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. With an opportunity for Dallas to win the division here today. It'll be second down when we come back.
old man with the dishes. Stella?
Anytime I call,
Did I ever tell you this story of your Uncle John and I before he's gone?
I try to bring my heart, but home is where it's at.
I'm Christina Stumble, and I chose the Smart Cash Card from Capital One. With unlimited 2% cash back on everything I buy, why wouldn't I get this card? I redeemed $115,000 in cash back, which doubled our marketing budget last summer. What's in your wallet?
This play is a miracle, and AWS has proof. Russell hits him with the play fake. He's got enough time to take a nap until these guys show up. Lobs the ball 39 yards to the tunnel. Receivers doing ballerina toes. Catch probability an impossible 6%. What? Oh, how'd you do that, Russ?
Kind of like this.
Next Gen Stats, powered by Amazon Web Services. AWS is out.
So what's the deal with the app? So the safer you drive, the more money you save.
Well, bad news, State Farm, because Aaron doesn't know how to play it safe.
Turn it up!
That's enough. What? Don't mess with my discount. What are my other options?
Get a discount of 30% with Drive Safe and Save from State Farm. My heart's beating so fast. Flirty Dancing, special preview in 1 week on Fox.
Today's game is sponsored by State Farm. Talk to an agent today.
A minute 54 left in the ball game. Dallas down by 8, 2nd and 4. There's the play selection, heavy pass, only 16 runs. Prescott tried down. Brought down by Vinny Curry. A loss of 4 on another Eagles sack.
Well, you're trying to go to Jarwin initially. The contact at the top of the route, it was just enough to throw Prescott off with the timing.
3rd down and 8. Prescott pass is incomplete. It's 4th down. Cooper back on the sideline. Prescott to the end zone. Pass is broken off. Eagles take over. Sidney Jones made the play in front of Michael Gallup.
One-on-one, as we've seen throughout this game, and the Cowboys just unable to take advantage of it for the most part. This time, Sidney Jones, the 4th corner, coming in off the bench, who was able to make the biggest play of the game.
The Cowboys do have all 3 of their timeouts left. And we are told by Tony Correnti that they are reviewing this play. We're inside 2 minutes, so a booth review for defensive pass interference. What are your opinions on it, Mike?
Well, I can certainly see why they would review it. 4th down play. I just don't see any arm hook. He gets both hands of the ball. He actually creates the initial separation a bit. Again, there's a defender turning his head back toward the ball. I just don't think you have enough. I don't think you have enough to add.
Well, I mean, you can, if you're looking at it from Dallas's point of view, Michael Gallup's right arm was pinned to his body by Sidney Jones. And that's obviously what they're taking a look at.
Yeah, I'm with Mike looking at this. I know what you're saying. I think when it's in slow motion, I think a lot. I know if you're a Cowboys fan watching this, you're saying it's definitely pass interference. We've seen a lot worse than this that has not even been close to being overturned. I can't imagine the reaction of this crowd if it is.
There's a call.
Review the ruling on the field stands. It will be first down.
Like you said, Joe, the Cowboys still have 3 timeouts, and this thing is far from over. And the Eagles have to call plays accordingly. They can make a stop. They can get the ball back with still enough time. What, about 50 seconds or so left if they can make key stops.
Andre Dillard, an extra offensive lineman, comes in. Sean Lee makes that tackle on Miles Sanders. Timeout Dallas with 1:10 left.
I think you started looking at it and you say, does Doug Peterson want to risk throwing the football, an incomplete pass? I think the answer to that is yes. I think he's definitely willing. Will he is a different scenario. If they do, it would be some type of screen pass, I would think. But the way that his defense has played, I think he can play it much more conservatively. I think a lot of that depends on what happens here on second down. I mean, Jim Schwartz and this defensive team has just been outstanding.
Second down and 8. Here's a keeper by Wentz. He floats it, and it's caught by Goddard. He's got a first down. He's also out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:04 remaining.
But they got it to at least third in real short, or first down, I'm sorry. And it looked like maybe it'd come up short, but how about that catch? I mean, this guy, the night that he has had, and that not many guys are going to be able to go up and make that play.
What a game. Yeah. Dallas Goddard. He got 9 yards there on 2nd and 8, and your question is answered by Doug Peterson. Yes, he's willing to throw it, and they get the first down.
Yep, and now they can run this thing down to almost nothing.
They run it with Sanders. Timeout Dallas. They have only 1 remaining as Sanders gets 4. A recap. It was 10 early points put up by Philadelphia. The only touchdown of the first half belonged to Dallas Goddard, who's had the best effort of this game by either side, receiving-wise. Cowboys had a shot a moment ago, down by 8. That was a 4th down play knocked away by Sidney Jones. And this has been some effort by a really banged-up Philadelphia Eagles team.
Maybe the best team win I've ever seen, quite honestly, with what's at stake and how undermanned they were. The staff deserves a lot of credit. These players deserve a lot of credit. And in the biggest game of the year for the Cowboys, this high-powered offense fails to score a touchdown.
Here's a handoff to Sanders. 3rd down coming up. Timeout taken by Dallas. And I'll tell you what, because when you look at this list and all the players who are out, those bottom 4 on IR, those top 3 injured, not available, this, to this point, goes down as a signature win for Carson Wentz.
That sure does. And he, hey, the way he's played the last couple of weeks in must-win games, and they weren't perfect. They were far from it. They found themselves in deficits. They beat New York Giants in overtime. They come back last week. They're down to the Redskins. They win. They have to win those games. He comes through. Played flawless in the 4th quarter of those games. And then tonight, against what has been a pretty good defense for most of the year. They were great last Sunday against the Rams, and his night was outstanding. Over 300 yards passing, 31 of 40. Pretty good night by Carson Wentz.
They're down in 2. You just have to hang on to the ball here. They get the first down on top of it. And Sanders is going to slide to ice this game. What a day, what a night, what a win for the Philadelphia Eagles. Doug Peterson, Jim Schwartz take a bow. That's the ball game. Eagles now are 1 win away from the NFC East title. They clinch next week with a win at the Giants or a Cowboys loss at home to Washington. That man, Doug Peterson, a masterful job getting his team ready for this game against Dallas.
And he's got to get them ready again, right? Unlike the Cowboys, who could have clinched the division with a win tonight, the Eagles still have to go on the road to New York next week and win to secure the playoff berth.
Giants will be coming off an overtime win over Washington. What a game for Carson Wentz. We'll be back after this.
Last Man Standing is back. Your mom says we don't see enough of you girls. Now get out and business. Returns Thursday, January 2nd on Fox.